Hey, you are now listening or watching the Halos in the Infield podcast, sponsored in part by Noble L Works over on 1621 South Sinclair, where you can get discounts by just mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield, drink discounts on us, baby. And also by 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets. The price you see is the price you get, and you also get 10% additionally off in the Apply Now code once you order your tickets just by mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield. Now enjoy the show.
Live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Welcome to the Halos in the Infield post-game podcast with Todd Fox, sponsored by Noble Ale Works Brewery, as well as 714 Tickets. This is your nightly destination for all things Los Angeles Angels. Come join Todd as he recaps every thrilling and disappointing moment from tonight's game, win or lose. Get ready for insightful analysis, fan reactions, and Todd's engaging commentary. Plus, fans can call in live to the Halo hotline to have their voices and opinions heard as well.
It's the Halo hotline.
Stay tuned in for your chance to win free Halos merchandise with our weekly trivia.
It's all about the game.
It's time to dive into the heart of Angels baseball with Todd Fox on the Halos in the Infield postgame podcast.
There's a drive from Mike Trout. See you later. That is long gone.
It's the Todd Fox postgame podcast with your host, Todd Fox.
Hey, welcome in everybody, the people that are still giving a flying farkas at this moment as the Angels season is over. It is over, and it ended a little bit earlier than expected. Well, not really, but the day did. I was watching football, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get to it when I get to it. It is what it is. I mean, again, how many of us were tuned in the entire game? I was watching a little bit of the Angels baseball, last game of the season in front of the millions and millions of the Angels fans in attendance today at the ball game as the Angels get, they show us what they're made of. They pretty much give us what we thought they would give us. Now, the announced crowd today was 35,000. I don't think that was the right amount that went through the turnstiles. That could have been paid tickets that were, purchased prior to the season, because again, I guarantee you right now, half the stadium is sold out at least for opening day next season. I'm going to guarantee it. No matter who's been traded, no matter who's on the roster, no matter who's going to be on the roster, you have at least half of the stadium filled for opening day. People, when the season starts, they'll buy tickets for Fan Appreciation Day. They'll go through the schedule on their calendar that they get on opening day, and if they see anything that they like as far as giveaways, Country Weekend, Star Wars Weekend, obviously they buy those tickets up way in advance. So there's no doubt that maybe those numbers are kind of correct as far as paid attendance, at least for this game. But I think that there is some inflation to it, just like the economy, as far as the numbers. But this is the Heady post-game show. And I will say this, compared to previous seasons, I have been here 95% of the time, unless there's like a medical emergency, a family issue, or I actually take a vacation. For the most part, unlike, the newbie that came on and do a post game on Locked On, or any other, copycats, or even Trent Rush. Trent Rush has done only a quarter of the games that I have done all season long. Trent Rush usually goes, hey, but he never comes on. And if he does, he takes 2 phone calls, and then he plays just audio after audio clip and filler after filler and commercial, and he's done. He never gives a full show, doesn't bring no comedy at the end. That's what we've done all year. We've brought in comedy at the end of the season, or at the end of the, some post games, especially on a day like this when the Rangers win 8-0. It's a pure shutout. We'll talk about the numbers like we always do. We always talk about what's in between the lines. But I'll usually start with a rant about what happened, what's been going on with the Angels, why we suck, the injuries. There's been so much negativity. I hate when the honks try to still shove positivity up our ass. There's really nothing to talk about. You can say, well, Neto had a nice year. That's great. That's one player out of 26 regulars who didn't do jack shit. Or you could say, Anderson was the pitcher of the year of the Angels. Was he? Because in my opinion, after seeing what happened with Anderson, I felt that he was trying to pitch his way off this club. And kudos to him. He was doing great. He earned himself an all-star bid, got to the all-star game, didn't play, but that's fine. He thought he was as good as going to a playoff contender as we all thought. And then what happened? Tyler Anderson, for whatever reason, because we were asking for too much or other teams didn't value him as much, he didn't get traded. And look what happened after the trade deadline. Tyler Anderson was no longer Tyler Anderson. Tyler Anderson was 2023 Tyler Anderson, and it was back to the usual. So you could see little things like that, and then we all got hyped over O'Hoppe, and O'Hoppe had a great first few months, and then when August rolled around, he fell off the side of a cliff, and he continued that to the end of the season. Then we had injuries. We thought Joe Adell would last the end of the season. He wound up ending his season prematurely. The pitchers started going down left and right. We lost Soriano. We lost our flamethrower closer and Ben Joyce, and just one thing after another. And then, and that's not even talking about organizational wise. So there's been a lot of negativity, and I bring up the fact that I've been here most of the season, but it's been so bad, people. Like, I've watched a lot of Angels baseball, and I started really paying attention to Angels baseball around 1992. I would watch every now and then because, again, I was 12 and under from 1992. And so I wasn't really too much into baseball unless my dad was watching it. I began to make it my sport when I started collecting baseball cards to not just pick and put in my bike and make noises with it, but to actually look at the stats to see how the game was played. When I started playing baseball in school or for Little League, I started taking it more seriously. I started to invest my time into watching baseball. And from then on out, I started to see a lot of poor baseball from the Angels for a good 9 years until they made that push in 2002 or 10 years. In 2002, won the World Series. The rest was history, but I was fully invested from 92 onward. So I've seen my fair share of bad baseball. And my dad has watched the Angels baseball since the PCL days when they used to play in Inglewood. And, he's been an Angel fan forever. Third generation, my grandpa watched the Angels when they first started playing in Inglewood at Wrigley Field and stuff like that. So 3 generations of baseball. My grandpa passed away, years ago. But my dad's still alive and kicking. And he's been telling me for the last 2 weeks, it's dreadful. He's never, ever, ever seen a baseball team this bad. And in 1994, when the Angels were, I believe, 24 games under 500, I think they were sitting at 44 and 68 right before the strike started. They were still only 5 games out of first place because that particular year in 94, everybody was beating up on the AL West, which was a brand new division at that time. They finally moved the teams into 4 teams. We didn't have Houston back in the day, and every team was under 500. And the Angels being 24 games under 500 were only 5.5 games out of first place. That team at least was fun to watch. They couldn't pitch themselves out of any kind of jam, but they could sure hit the ball pretty good. And they put up numbers. They lost a lot. 1991, the Angels were in 7 teams in a 7-team division, dead last. But I brought this up the other night. They were 81 and 81. They still won 81 games. So it was a team that still did something, right? This is the worst, and I mean worst, Angels baseball team of all time. I've had Dodger fans say the obligatory thank you for Shohei Ohtani. They've said, wow, I didn't realize you guys were that bad. And then people asking, and then still some like on the outside Angel fans who watch from afar, who didn't go to a game this year because they're still mad at Shohei not getting re-signed. Don't know the specifics of it. They're still the idiots that'll tell you that we should have re-signed him instead of trading him. That kind of fan is saying, well, we need more pitching. I had to correct another one today, just being out and about, because a few Angel fans I ran into that were like, oh, we need more pitching next year. No, we don't. We need a new philosophy. We need to get rid of the nerds and sabermetrics and get some hitters, some contact guys, and possibly a couple power hitters. We need a brand new outfield, get rid of Taylor Ward, get rid of Joe Adell, get rid of Moniak. move Trout to DH and sign your free agents in the outfield. You already got your infield once more comes up. You already, keep Renifo, dump number 6. You got the catcher. You got Trout at DH. Just get a starter, one pretty good starter as, to anchor the rotation that's coming back. I'm not too upset with him. I just think we need to ditch Detmers. We need to ditch Sandoval and Canning and go with the youngsters. And I think for the most part, if you look at their numbers, they didn't do too good. Didn't do too bad. Kowanowitz pitched down the stretch, right? He went 2-6, but had a 3.99 ERA. Should have been lower than that. Is it his fault that he lost today? No, the Angels still can't muster any runs. And we've looked at the record before the All-Star break, how they were actually almost 20 games over 500 when they scored 5 runs or more. I think there were 17 games over 500. When this team doesn't score 5 runs or more, they have a big-ass losing record. This team finished the season 3-18 in their last 21 games. Let that sink in. 3-18 in their last 21 games, including the only team to lose a series to the worst team in all of baseball, the Chicago White Sox of all time. They're the only team to lose the season series, including getting swept here or swept in Chicago and only winning 2 here at the Big A. So with all that said, when I decided to take some days off starting in September, I felt bad because I'm committed to be here for you every night, even if you care or you don't care, because I want to bring Angels baseball. I want to bring it up. I want to talk about it. I want to be there when they actually do good. But this team has disappointed me to ridiculous levels that I never thought were possible. And I'm sure you're feeling the same way. And Mr. James Gonzalez, producer of the Stars, he sent a message that came from the Chicago White Sox, Jerry Reinsdorf. And you can look it up. It was on their Twitter account. It's on their Facebook page. It's whatever social media you have. Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Chicago White Sox, the team with the worst record of all time, wrote a personal apology letter to the Chicago White Sox fan base and the city of Chicago. Why are you bringing that up, Todd? Because as much as a lot of people look at Reinsdorf as a poor owner, or they look at him because if you don't know the Chicago White Sox background, the things that he's done in the past as an owner, not the right moves. He's meddled a little bit. He's a little bit on the arty side. But the one thing he has done as the owner of the Chicago White Sox has won a World Series for the city of Chicago in 2005 and has put together a few strings of good baseball teams up until obviously the last couple years where the team just really fell off the face of the earth. But in the letter to the Chicago White Sox fans and the city of Chicago, he personally apologized. Where does that differentiate him from Artie Moreno? First off, he's humble. Second, he realizes that no matter what he does as advertising, no matter if he has monster trucks, if he has whatever kind of entertainment that comes in there, whether he has a metal weekend instead of a country weekend, whether he has a hip-hop concert, it doesn't matter. He now gets it that this was an embarrassment, and he said it all falls on him as an owner. He took the entire blame. So even though we know that Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Chicago White Sox, is not the guy who goes out there and scouts Jose Abreu, that goes out there and scouts the players that are on the field that come through the organization. He may sign the checks. He may know of the players' abilities through the scouts and through the general managers if they share that information, or if he's a fan and watches his team, he could see things just like me and you, right? But for him to come out as a rich owner that he is, and despite what you think of him, if you had any thoughts of him prior to me giving you this information, you have to think to yourself, wow, what a stand-up guy for writing an apology letter saying that this is not to be tolerated And you could look it up. He says this is unacceptable. And in the end, this debacle falls on him. And when James sent that to me, he just put, I wish our owner would do this. Our owner needs to do this. And kudos to James. Because it's true. Artie Moreno needs to get out of his drunken stupor, get to a microphone, he won't talk on a microphone. I'm sorry. I mean, he has the worst lisp of all time. He's too embarrassed, number one. He hasn't had a public speaking in a long, long time. But he needs to write a letter, an open letter, an apology to you, to me, to everybody else. But he won't do it. That's the difference between Reinsdorf, a guy who a lot of Chicago fans are hard on because they think that he doesn't try. But if you look at the White Sox resume, at least he's got a resume of putting together some teams. And they have spent some money. Maybe it hasn't been the right way, and they've made some poor decisions lately. But again, I don't think Artie could have 10 seasons of that kind of caliber of team and apologize once, where Reinsdorf apologizes. He's embarrassed just as much as the White Sox fans are. And I have to tip my cap to him and say, you know what? That's a stand-up dude. That's a stand-up dude. Artie Moreno will never do that, and it's my fear as an Angels fan that either his ego is so big after we fucked him in the beginning of the season by not cheering for him and booing the shit out of him that he will turn his back on the fans and not give a crap. And what if he has the desire to go somewhere else? I don't personally think that he does because he's too damn old. If Artie was in his 60s maybe, I could see it, but it's going to take some time to move a franchise like the Angels. Hell, they're already locked in till 2030. It may not seem like a long time for you and me, but 6 years is still 6 years. Or 5 or whatever you want to count now. And what's 5 years to Artie Moreno? That'll push him close to 90. I don't think he's going to go for that. If he's going to win, he's going to want to win now. If he's going to sell, he's going to have to sell now. And besides, you've got openings in other stadiums and you know, people getting approved for this stadium and that stadium, maybe in Portland and Tennessee and Utah. Those are up for grab for the expansion teams. The expansion teams are going to get their place. And an expansion team is going to get a home before the A's get a home. That's my opinion, because I think Vegas thing is still not in stone. They're still in limbo. But there are definitely spots being open. So with that being off the table, a stadium deal needs to be struck as far as we're moving stadiums somewhere else, or the franchise is going to get a total remodel at the Big A, which is, I think, everyone's hope. But besides that, you know, there's groundwork that they could do that could fix this team. I look at things like this, and my inner honk comes out because I'm trying to be a realist here. I'm not going to go too honkish and be like, hey, this team's World Series caliber. Hell no. But you can appreciate what the Detroit Tigers have done in just 2 seasons. A team that was on the brink of 100 losses last season had won 84, I think, this year to get one of the second wild card in the American League. And they turned it around by pure pitching. And their hitting was all right, but just good enough. Just good enough to get those big hits, and their bullpen and their starting pitching was outstanding. That's how they got themselves to the postseason. The Royals kind of did the same thing. Good young starting pitching, meh on the bullpen, but their hitting was a little bit better than Detroit. They're going to be 2 tough outs in the opening round, and we'll talk about the playoffs a little later. But my feeling with the White Sox is, or what the Detroit Tigers did, is the Angels can get to that if they were to do stuff like I talked about, replacing the outfield with contact hitters, not guys who are going to swing for the fences, get rid of stupid ass analytics, and then add a starter or 2. You know, I would love to get a Corbin Burns, but they're not going to get that. Get like a good 2A pitcher, maybe 2 of those to anchor the rotation with Soriano and Anderson. And then you got a plethora of guys who could fight for that 5th spot. And then I'm pretty happy with the bullpen with some guys we got coming back. Maybe add another arm because bullpen pieces aren't expensive. Probably the cheapest free agent to get. It can be done. And if anything, look, if it doesn't make the playoffs, that's fine. But if we get to 81 wins, that's cool. The key is to go 500 and above next year. And a lot of people are laughing at me because saying, well, they lost 99 games. But look at the team that we put out there. Look at the fact that you did not get a starting pitcher anchored to this lineup. Look at the fact that you have shitty ass coaches to coach the hitting. No fundamentals on the hitting side. We saw improvements under our manager as far as defense and as far as pitching, but there was regression. Big time regression because we love to swing for the fences. Listen to our dumbass announcers talk about it because that's what we're preaching. And we still finished like 24th in the league in hitting home runs. So a thing that's supposed to be the thing you're good at, you're still 24th. That means you're not good at it. So that means you should be going for contact hits. You should be trying to draw walks. You should be trying to get on no matter what. You should be trying to create havoc on the base pads. But they don't do that. So when you're not doing the fundamentals, when you're not doing the things to win, you're going to lose games 8-0. You're going to lose games 6-3. It's not a focus, and it should not be a focus on the pitching. Again, you could have solid starts like we did early in the season where you were losing 2-0. What's your excuse then? The runners in scoring position was god-awful again. It's all about the sabermetrics and all that other stuff. It can change. So getting back to Reinsdorf and the apology, dumbass Artie will never say sorry. Dumbass Artie will never take what is it called? Credit for the losses. He will take credit for the wins. Just go back to 2009, 14-5, and look at the dumbass in our locker room getting champagne poured on him by Torrey Hunter, Vladimir Guerrero, and so on and so on. And he's hand in hand with Mike Scioscia. When have you ever seen an owner do that in a non-championship, ALCS championship win or a World Series championship? This dumbass is doing it on a division. He's all up in the business because he wants to take credit for everything. He wants to be the man, the fan. If you are the man and you are the fan, then you should be in attendance when this team is losing for the 99th time on a Sunday. You should be taking questions from all kinds of media who, again, have been asking for you to speak up. Because it's not like the Dodgers organization where it's multiple people who own that organization. It's not just one person. In fact, when they want to speak to the media, they usually use Magic Johnson. He's their mouthpiece. Okay, dumbass Artie, if you don't want to talk and lisp all over the place and spit all over the reporters, why don't you hire a mouthpiece? Why don't you hire a Torrey Hunter who's already on staff, who's a great speaker, who's a guy that everybody loves? If you really want to push your propaganda, I'm sure for a little bit of extra money, Torrey Hunter would be able to talk to us and at least give us some sort of understanding of your dumbass game plan that is failing, right? But there's never, ever an addressing to the media. There's never, ever a Sam Blum interview with anybody because Sam Blum and the other guys who are the only ones that ever talk Angels baseball don't get those kind of interviews because they're not provided. And I'm sure they ask. I'm sure it's out there, but it's never been put to They've never been put to task. They've never been put under the fire. We are a soft fan base. And the other night Saturday night, I went to downtown Disney. Okay. And I've been going there for years. And I'm used to seeing just a lot of Angel fans, Ducks stuff. I saw maybe 3 or 4 Angel fans. I saw a shit ton. Jackie Robinson jerseys, Clayton Kershaw jerseys, and believe you me, to the point of nauseum. And I wanted to puke up all that good food I hate at that restaurant right in the middle by the new one. It has all those good. I had a Norteño burrito, delicious. Anyway, a lot of Ohtani jerseys. It's sickening because I guarantee you a lot of those fans are from LA. Because, I mean, obviously it's not just Anaheim people that go to downtown Disney and Disneyland and things of that nature. But there's a hell of a lot of bandwagon fans. And you know this as much as I know this. The same thing that happened with the Lakers back in the day. A lot of people wearing that purple and gold. A lot of people with the flags when it's playoff time, but they disappear when the regular season's on for the most part. Same thing here with the Dodgers. I mean, you got a bunch of them. And I bet you most of them, 60% that were at Downtown Disney, were Angel fans before. And it's sickening because a lot of them have switched over allegiances. They were switching over before we lost Ohtani. Ohtani, for most of them, this season was the tipping point. A lot of them were like, dude, I am so sick and tired of this franchise. And bam. Like I told you, I've been a part of a bunch of pages that not only follow us, that I follow that are Angels pages, the official Angel page. I follow the Super Halo Brothers page to see what they're talking about, and other pages just to see the pulse of the Angels fan. And on every page, no matter the style of fan, whether it's Halo honkism, like the everydayers, or and the AM 830ers, or it's the realists like us, or like on what is it called? The other Angel pages, like there's a couple that are realists like us too, right? And on those pages, it's almost the same thing. For every negative comment or even positive, some people are like, why are you even watching this team? I'm a Dodger fan now. I root for Ohtani now. Or I'm tired of going to this game. I haven't gone in the last few years. And that's fine too. But the switching of the allegiance, that's where I draw the line. Because I'm like, you know what? Once you leave, stay the fuck away. I don't want to see these same assholes who say that they love Ohtani or say that they're on the Dodger bandwagon for the postseason. Don't you come back. Because a lot of us will keep receipts. Maybe not me, but maybe someone online will see you again, pop up on the Angels page when they're good again. We don't want you back. I don't want to, but they'll come back. You watch. They'll come back. But for now, they're Dodger fans. Screw them. It is what it is. And even if they come back, and I know that you switch teams and you come back, screw you too. That's just me. I'm being real. I'm a real Angels fan. I stick with this team, good or bad, or just god-awful, which is this year. I mean, we've been kicked in the crotch, whether you're male or female, and I'm sure it hurts being kicked in the crotch as a female, but not as bad as it does with our testicles out being male. The point being, every time it seemed like we couldn't go any lower, we get kicked in the crotch. The Dodgers do something great. Ohtani does something great. We do something really stupid. We help another team win. We make a serious error. We do something historic on the bad side. It's been like that all season. It's just been so difficult to watch this team and to enjoy this team when we thought that this team would maybe make a few strides in the right direction. I mean, I brought it up the other night. It seemed cursed from the moment that Ron Washington said that you could take this one to the bank, that we're going to run the West. What? Run it into the ground? Because that's what we did. 5th place, bro. 5th place. And then you go from talking this team up. I mean, he had an interview in mid-August with Roger Lodge, and Roger was like, hey, what do you think about this team? It's been really tough this year. What are you going to do? And how do you feel? And then Ron was like, well, we just got to keep plugging away, and I don't think it's been the worst year of all season. I've had a couple of seasons in Texas where it just wasn't fun at all. He goes, these young guys make me really pumped up when I come to the game, and they really keep me on my toes, and I don't go to bed angry. Like other teams, I've been on, you go to bed angry, you fester on things. He goes, I never go to bed angry on this team because I'm positive that this team's going to do good and that we're learning things. May not be winning now, but you watch out. We're going to be winning soon. Okay, where is that now? Fast forward a month and a half later, almost a couple days ago, what does he say in the media? Hey, what do you see on the outlook for the Angels this year, and why was it so rough? Well, this team doesn't have major league ball players that can win, and in this league, you need players that are championship caliber, and I don't think we have any players that are championship caliber. Boom! Then they call him out on it the next day, and he goes, well, I didn't really mean that. I just meant that, we don't have those Trout and Ohtanis and stuff like that. Because they also asked him, do you think the Angels will regroup next year and get some big-time free agents in here? And he flat out said, first response, well, I don't think we're going to be getting any kind of high-priced players like Mike Trout or Anthony Rendon and big names like that. Walked it back the next day and said, well, I just mean that, we're not going to get maybe those big kind of salaries, but we may get some big name players. Then which is it? And I think Ron's been caught off guard, and it is frustrating. I wish he would just say it, dude. Ron's pissed. I can't go to sleep sometimes after stupid ass losses, especially after a game last night. Again, now if that game was in May or June, I would have been floored. But since it was yesterday, it was just funny. It was funny that they blew that game. And you're saying you're not really a fan if you thought that was funny. Why not? Why not laugh? Why not laugh in September when the games really don't give a fuck? There's no need to worry about it where we are in the standings. We're not going to break the all-time. That's literally the only thing that we didn't do as a franchise. Despite all the lows that we could possibly hit, the bad play, the injuries, number 6 being number 6, the only thing that we did not do collectively and not being able to set the record with the White Sox, force the record on them. They still swept us. But the only thing we didn't do was get to the 100 plateau. I mean, we were right there. We gave it the old college try and still failed. So, of course, Ron Washington's going to be frustrated because you can fire him today and put in a manager. And as long as Artie and all the top brass and Potassium come out there and say, you know what, we're just going to stick with what we're going to do. We're going to take this, we hired this manager. We're going to keep the sabermetrics. If you're going to keep the sabermetrics, I'm guaranteeing you, I don't care if we put Juan Soto in this lineup next year. I don't care if you put Alvarez, any player that you think is hot shit, Teoscar Hernandez out there. I don't care if you load up a rotation and you load up an outfield and you're like, everybody's healthy and you cut Rendon. You do all those things I said earlier in the show. It won't matter if we're still coming out there telling these guys, hey, it's launch angle. Hey, you got to get the exit velocity. Hey, because again, dumbass Gooby, it doesn't matter if you hit a ball 121 miles per hour off the bat. If the guy still catches it, he still catches it. If you hit a ball, which I've seen opponents do, at 38 miles per hour off that exit velocity, and it still finds green, that's all that matters. So if I'm hitting one 101 miles per hour the first time up and it goes down the line, fair ball, and I get to second base, who gives a shit? And if I hit one at 29 miles per hour that squibs off the first baseman's glove and it trickles into right field, who gives a shit? I got on base. But they value the stupidest shit, which hurts the players. Because again, do I like the fact that Zach Neto hit 25 home runs? Yes. Do I like the fact that he struck out as much as he did? No, because he should be more of a contact hitter. The way he swings, those 25 home runs should come more naturally. Do I like the fact that Taylor Ward led the team with almost 200 strikeouts? Who the fuck is Taylor Ward? Is he supposed to be our Jose Canseco? No. Then why the fuck are you swinging like him? Why the hell do you have a long-ass swing and you're rolling into double plays if you're not striking out? Oh, but the honks love his solo home runs. Hey, he got real hot down the stretch. Yeah, bitch was hitting nothing before the deadline on purpose so he wouldn't get traded. So you have guys, again, Ron Washington is fucked because you have guys who are doing whatever they want to do. And then you have guys who have never played baseball telling them what to do. So, and then there's the manager and everyone in charge who's not holding anyone accountable. Yet they're still trying to teach fundamentals when no one wants to hear it. You've got no clubhouse energy whatsoever. You've got no togetherness. There's massive problems on this team that aren't going to erase themselves unless you make personnel changes, you hold people accountable, you get rid of the lazy pieces of shit upstairs, You get baseball minds in there, and guess what? You let the guys like Ron Washington and other people on his staff, you hire Clint Hurdle instead of not paying him $1 million extra because it's too much. You get the right people in place to teach your kids and keep the other free agents in line. This team needs an enema. I mean, straight up the keister. I would love to do it too. I'd love to put on my rubber glove and give an enema to this organization, because that's what it needs. It needs a total enema to where they could feel it in their throat. Because otherwise, we're just going to rinse and repeat and start the next season, and you're going to be like, hey, who's going to be giving the country concert this year? Hey, Star Wars, I bet you anything they're going to have those drones back. Hey, you're going to have the beach challenge. Hey, we're going to have another Jersey next year. How about that, guys? We're going to have this another City Connect Part 2. Hey! You really want more of that? Because if we get more of that, it's going to be even harder. You're going to see even more Angel fans that were more invested in this club than me, who have longer resumes than me as a fan, and will still say, you know what? I need a break. You know what? I'm going to go for another team. You know what? That Dodger team doesn't look too bad up there, even though they choke every year. That's the sad reality. And for every one of those that leaves, another one will fill the place in Anaheim Stadium, and we'll sit there and enjoy the Bandai Namco and enjoy the ice creams, enjoy the kids stealing third base, and so on, and Deo, and Deo, and Deo. Something needs to change. I wish I could give an interview or talk to the piece of shit called Artie Moreno. I wish I could interview him and just ask him no softball questions, just the real questions. I think the only softball questions I would ask is, how did you become an owner? Like, what made you become an owner? And that'd be it. And after that, it'd be the hard-nosed questions. I'd like to do just a sit-down interview like CBS does with their 60 minutes, like a 60-minute interview. Just sit down with Artie Moreno, pick his brain, ask him why he's terrible as a human being and as far as an owner. I'm sure he'd love that. But I have a better chance of winning the lottery. But this team will give you an ulcer. This team will piss you off. There's so much bad about it. You know, when getting back to my dad, when he says, this team is the worst team I've ever seen. He ain't lying. He's not lying. This team, as far as it's constructed right now, has no hope. Jerry Reinsdorf is at least giving White Sox fans a carrot on a dangling stick to where they're still going to go for it next year, because he's promising better returns next year. He's promising that things will get better. He's taking accountability for the shit show that was. And if you see it, it's not just a small paragraph. He writes a long-ass letter to the fans. Artie Moreno won't do that. Artie Moreno should write like a freaking book about why it was the way it was this year, how the injuries are unacceptable, how he's got to hire or make a new gym, a practice facility. I mean, all sorts of things. To me, listen, I know that's a nice ice rink if you've ever seen it. And it holds like parties, private parties, weddings. Disney on Ice practices there still, that little ice rink off of Catella right there. Force them out, Artie. You own that land. Force them out and make that the training facility. It's big enough to make it one big-ass gym for 26 players or a 40-man roster to work out, to stretch. And then in the off season, when it's not Angel season, let the Ducks players go in there, rent it out to them so that they could train and work out and stay fresh and fit. That's another thing that should take place, because the Angels have no places for these players to work out. They have no workout facility, literally. And when Smokin' Joe was in charge and Numbnuts Nevin, they wouldn't do batting practice on the field, but we have two dumbass batting cages in a shit area under the stadium. That needs to change too. We need better facilities. That should be your number one priority. Not fixing Tempe. Tempe can wait, and you're spending $27 million on Tempe. Yeah, it needs a renovation, but that can wait. You've got the big league club. You got to take care of the big league club first. Now you need to take care of the minor leaguers now as far as food and facilities for them to stay. And only because you were embarrassed, you started taking care of that this year, might add. But you got to start with a facility on hand in Anaheim. Figure out what you're going to do. Get the right facilities. Hire the right people, because I don't know. If I'm a fan, like he says he's a fan, you're sick and tired of leading the league, except for the Dodgers this year. The Dodgers actually outdid us in injuries, and they're still the number one seed in the National League because they've loaded up on both sides. And that takes time, that takes effort, that takes responsibility, scouting, everything, and organization. They've got that. But when you have the second most injuries in the league, or the first in the league, you're going to struggle if you don't have the depth, if you don't have the organization, you don't have the scouting, and that's where the Angels are. That's the difference between our organization and the Dodgers organization, is they're prepared for the worst case scenario. Angels are like, oh shit, I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, we are the procrastinators of procrastinators. That's why we're always going into the bargain bin, getting the guys that were DFA'd from other teams. That's why we are who we are. So, I mean, I wouldn't want Perry's job at all, because Perry's got so much work to do. And he's got an owner that is just full of shit. And that he has to get everything approved by, and he just can't go out and do it himself. He can't work things out himself. So next season, who knows what it's going to be? Generally speaking, if I've got to give a quick, again, start out with a franchise. I already laid out some of the groundwork, but you got to get the right training facilities in. You need to get the proper diet, and you need to get guys and hire managers or coaches, or just guys who are going to be mentors to these players that'll keep them in line and hold these assholes accountable. And I mean, like, if number 6 doesn't want to play for whatever reason, then find a way to file a grievance with the players union. It's not going to be popular, but file a grievance. They have to see it. The league has to see what he's doing. See if you can get him out of some money. Maybe that'll light a fire under his ass, or embarrass his ass, make him run. He's under contract. He has to do it. You may say that sounds stupid to a millionaire, but they still got to do it. Other teams like the Atlanta Braves, which Ron Washington came from, other teams that with hard-nosed managers from just a couple of years ago, will hold players accountable. We don't. That's a big thing that needs to change. So with all that being said, there's a lot of optimism going into next season, but so much has to change. And my final thought on it, my Jerry Springer moment, is this. If the Angels do not go crazy and spend in the offseason, if they are a mid or below mid as far as spending, if they are not trying to be a part of all these free agents that are coming up on the market, at least, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. It's going to be another run it back, and it's not going to be good. And it could be something to where Artie now has given up, and, because he's not getting any younger, and he might just say, you know what, fuck this team, fuck the fans of Anaheim. I'm going to run this team into the ground and try to get him to move. That's where you'll see that maybe there's an Oakland A's aspect to this if he doesn't spend. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the offseason. Definitely. But first off, losing 18-21, we can't play Stukas anymore the rest of the season. And we weren't really Buttercup because we were Buttercup last night. So since I wasn't on, I'll give you this.
Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to let me down, to mess me around, and then worst of all, you never call baby when you say you will. I love you still, I need you.
So that was for last night's blown game right there. Thank you, Hunter Strickland and Zwinga and whatever, and Zwinga again today. As the Angels lose, it was a Savage Garden day, and we played this so many goddamn times, it's stuck in my head.
I will be strong, I will be faithful, 'cause I'm counting on a new beginning, a reason for living, a deeper meaning, yeah. And I wanna stand with you on a mountain, and I wanna bathe with you in the sea, and I wanna lay like this forever until the sky falls down on me.
So that's our final Savage Garden of the year. And I just want to bring up one more time. Kowanowitz, 7 innings pitched today, 3 runs, 6 hits. Yeah, we need pitching. That's the ticket. That's the reason why we lost today. That's the reason why we lost. Because he gave up those 3 runs. Oh, no, Todd. It's because the bullpen gave up 5 runs and he lost. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We scored nothing. Yep, that is exactly why. So again, let's give out the award for best player on the field. Nope, that's the wrong one. It has to be this guy, Golden. The John Stamos Award for Best Player on the Field has to go to Kohanowitz because, I mean, think about this. You're pitching for a team with 98 losses going into the game. You've got no chance to score. You know your team sucks, and you still pitch your ass off. Kudos to him. He gets the Stamos today. Now, who gets the Nacho Night Award?
I love the nachos, gas station nachos. I love those nachos, yeah. Gas station nachos. Ow.
Ow. I'm going to give it to 2 players, and one I'm going to give it to 30-year-old Taylor Ward. A lot of people will look at him and say, hey, 25 home runs, 75 RBIs. Yeah, but he had 204. You had a batting average of 246. You suck, bro. You had 163 strikeouts as a guy who should be batting 7th or 8th, but because this team has no depth, we had you lead off. We had you bat 3rd, bat 4th, positions that you should not even be close to. So you get a heaping of nachos. And also, Brandon Drury, 169 this year, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs. You struck out 81 times in limited baseball this year, only 97 games played. You suck ass, my friend, and I hope you go back to Japan because that's where you deserve to play. You don't deserve to play, Drury, in the American League. Also, throw in that number 6. Number 6 went all year without a home run, yet he's making $37.5 million. How about that? God bless America, right? And now let's go back into the award for who was the hardest pitcher to face, who was the hardest hitter to get out.
I need your seed.
Who's got the biggest biceps? Marsha. Who's got shoulders like a man? Marsha. Who's got a ring this rich? Marsha. Who's got a thing for young surfers? Marsha. Who put the tree off the grill? Marsha. Who could slam a shack? Marsha.
Congratulations, pal.
Congratulations, pal, as well. A guy who is going to get a freaking invite to spring training. And that is 27-year-old Eric Wagaman. Yes, 27 years old from Mission Viejo. He at least made the best out of his 17 games. Now, he didn't have a great game today, but I'm just pointing out the fact that he batted .250 to end the season in 17 games, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Could he be a guy who makes the roster as a depth piece? I hope not, but at least you know that if he does, and he's part of the plan next year for some reason, he can produce. So at least there's that. So I just wanted to point that out for shit's sake. Now we're going to get into the comments as we finish the season up here, and we will have a lot of talk in the off season, and hopefully we will have that Dodgers show, which I'm pretty sure we're going to have about them falling on their face once again and missing the World Series. or getting eliminated right there. First off, I want to get to, if I can get to the playoffs here right now, the way it's set up, if I have the playoff bracket, let's see here. They still, and it's funny because ESPN is picking the Yankees and the Astros to make the World Series, as far as their picks to win the World Series. So, or actually the Yankees from the American League to make the World Series, and they have 100% chance the Dodgers are going to make the World Series. Where have I heard that from before? They always do that shit. But the teams that are in the postseason right now are the Yankees, Astros, Shitfucks, Orioles, Royals, and Tigers. So who knew 3 teams would come from the Central into the postseason? And then from the National League, you have the Phillies, the Doyers, Padres, Braves, Brewers, and Mets. The Diamondbacks choked away their chance to get into the postseason. Somehow the Braves made it with all their injuries. So it's going to be crazy, and we will see what happens starting, I think, tomorrow or Tuesday. Marty says, who the hell were half of the guys in the lineup today? We all suck balls. Ever since Farkas said he was going to get laid down under, immediately this team went flaccid. Also, Potassium needs to go make decisions that are worth a shit. And also, California's Rail fan says it's spritz o'clock, and you know what time that is. It's time to get your botanical spritz on.
Spritz o'clock, angels play. Win or lose, we toast the day. Sip and cheer, no matter the score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
JM checks in with fuck the Queefs. He's not happy the Chargers lost today. Marty says season tickets for next year shouldn't be more than $1 a piece, to be generous. Daniel says, hey, happy Sunday, everyone. Saucy says, another exceptional season in the books. Marty also says, no way 35,000 were there, at least 15,000. JM says, you have Cuck fans going. I really want to see what I want to see from Wagon Man. He's got nice range. It's like, bro, he will be doing HVAC next spring. Tim says, it's over. Also, finally, the fucking season is over. Don't have to see Angels baseball until 2025. Saucy says, I hope this is the last time I endure watching Jack Lopez. I agree with you right there. That guy sucks. Vetter says, one of the richest owners and the best attendance in the league, and we have the 3rd worst record. Fuck Artie. JM says, I appreciate your coverage, Todd. I discovered this channel this season, and it's been the only bright spot. Much love to Heedy. Thank you, JM. Really appreciate you as well. Wagonman says, Lopez and Campero will lead us to the Holy Grail next year. You can take it to the bank. Anytime now someone says take it to the bank, I'm going to go the other way. Saucy says, best thing about this season is this channel. Thank you so much, Saucy. 1,000% right there. James Saucy also says, next year we will complete the job of getting to 100 losses. We are 1-9 in our last 10. We almost had it. Yvette said, sell the team. Robert says, best thing about the network is that you get the true raw reaction from the fan standpoint, who generally cares and wants his team to do well, but has to deal with the honks and thinks it's okay to lose. 1,000%, Robert. 1,000%. Breaking news, Rendon just got hurt again, tearing his vagina. Also, Chubb says 1992. Damn, Unk. Yeah, I know. Also, Yvette says this is the worst season ever. It sure is. Marty says the lows of this year were only tolerable by the extreme lows we saw. JM says, how do you feel about Skip Schumacher? I'll take him. Again, it doesn't matter if we get Vince Lombardi in here. If they're being told what to do instead of being managed, we're still going to wind up in the same situation. Saucy says the 6-game win streak in June feels like 5 seasons ago. That actually happened, which is crazy. Marty says we still had the most wins in spring training, right? No, we did not win the spring training World Series. We did not. Frederick says this channel kept the season worth watching. Thank you, Frederick. Eric Ward says, what an absolute shit season. Moreno and company suck. 99 fucking losses. Glad the schedule got easier in the second half this year. I forgot about that, Saucy. That's a great point. Remember when they were like, hey, we got through the worst part of the season. It's all downhill from here. Boy, they weren't lying from the downhill, right? Frederick says, should we declare the 2025 season over, or is it still too soon? It's still too soon because we have a lot of baseball left to be played, right? I believe, if I could cue it up quick enough here. We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight. We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
There you go. See, he had to reiterate himself right there. Let's see. Also, Isaac Flores says, will we ever win again? I don't know. We will have to see when spring training rolls around. We need Santander and Teoscar Hernandez and probably Bregman, but we all know we won't get anything at all. I don't think Bergman will ever come here, but I would like to see Santander because I was calling that earlier in the year, and that you're calling Teoscar Hernandez. Those guys aren't going to demand crazy, stupid money. They will be over $100 million. I can guarantee that, but they won't be anywhere like a $200, $300 million person like Juan Soto. So it can be done, but you have to cut payroll, and that is getting rid of number 6. Frederick says, will the baseball gods please remove Artie Moreno? I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. If even they got magically an offer from Ohtani money, he wouldn't have signed back. Idiots. Exactly, Yvette. Also, Isaac says, thanks for all the post-game shows this season, Big Todd. Keep it up the good work, Heedy staff. Thank you, Isaac. Frederick says, no player who wants to win will sign here unless Artie is long gone. Robert says, we need a starting pitcher, Max Fried, Shane Bieber, Jack Flaherty, Alex Cobb, or Lorenzen. Can't go for bigger names because they won't come here. Good point. You need to start somewhere, and those guys are all mid to above pitchers. If you get one or two of them here, you could possibly entice a better pitcher later, either through a trade or the next season. But you need to establish a winning culture. You need to put the rest of the league on notice, just like Robert's saying, that things are changing. And if you can make other players see that, then good things can happen. Yvette says, I feel bad because I haven't been on the chats all this season, like last season, so don't worry about it, Todd. I get it. No, it's cool, Yvette. I really appreciate everything, and I don't know why you're upset. I'm reading your comments. It says I had to go into a long-ass rant. Well, Eddie's here. Todd, we going to Cancun. There you go. Saucy says we need a shit ton of at-bats or bats, maybe with starting pitcher or two and some coaching. Frederick says the only letter I want to see from Artie is I sold the team. There you go. Robert says there's not a microphone spit guard that can handle an Artie speech. Yvette says Artie is screwing up the workers on tips, so it's not a surprise that he has no moral code. Also, Tony C says we need to start a fire with a hitting coach, or start the fire guys like the hitting coach, change the team name back to the California Angels, bring back Kevin Pillar as a mentor / utility player, get rid of Theis, Ward, Moniak, number 6. I agree. Saucy says we are fucking stuck with Artie. No amount of chanting to avoid games will make him sell. He is so petty, ego-driven, and an asshole. I agree. Frederick also says Artie was screwing with the little people who work at the stadium for the first year he bought the team. Also, Farty Moreno, El Diablo. Yvette says seeing another season with former Angel players in the postseason hurts. It sure does. Anthony says the last time the Angels had 99 losses in the season record, we won the World Series. This 99 does not feel the same. Oh, you mean 99 games won? Yes, that's true, Anthony. Saucy says next year is going to be a sacrificial year. 2026 will probably suck if I'm hopeful at all. Marty says I'm already calling that we get swept in the opening series against the White Sox. Yeah, that's the thing. Who's going to be more revamped? 2025 starts the season with the White Sox and Angels in Chicago. Frederick says Aaron Seeley, Kevin Apier are the only two pitchers we picked up for the 2002 World Series team. But they had a culture there, and they were a better hitting team than a pitching team. Let's just face it. And their bullpen anchored that team. All those pitchers needed to do with Washburn and others was give you 5 innings, and they were fine. Arturo is a dumbass. Frederick says give us a team of doubles hitters. Best batting average on the team was 250 with an OPS of 761. That's terrible. Tyler says, what a great year, not for the Halos, but for the Heedy Warriors. Thank you, Tyler. Also, I think that with Artie at the helm, the whole operation is non-repairable. Like a pitcher who's had too many Tommy John surgeries, there's no more structure to anchor the ligament. To heck, there's no ligament. It's gone. Also, Tony C says, get rid of Contreras, Zwinga. We need a full-time second baseman. We need to get Artie to get out of here. Out of here. Also, ML says, no mames way. We lost no pinches mamas way. Thanks, bro, for everything, especially this one. Thanks, bro. It was fun. You didn't give up enough. We won no mamas ways. Maybe in 10 years, who knows? I probably killed that, but thank you, sir. Yvette says, I sound like a broken record, but every time it's got to do with small ball, they can do way better than they hit for the fences. Exactly. That's what we've been preaching all year. Wow, this is so embarrassing. The 2024 season went down. The 2025 season starting with a 3-game series with the worst team in baseball, Rally Chris says. Yvette likes to call people out, and there's no problem with that. Frederick says small ball wins and is exciting to watch. It sure is. We just don't get enough of it. Halo Honks are already making a list of silver linings to look forward to next year. Rinse, repeat every year, R. Martinez says. Chubb says, I just curse them out in the X post. There you go. Also, hell to keep my family Angel fans too. It's been hard to, he says. Also, let's start calling him Artie or Arturo instead of his white name Artie. That'd be good. Also, so what team are we going to cheer for in the playoffs? Any team that is playing the Doyers. Let's see. And then Yvette says, at least we didn't get 100 losses. R. Martinez or Frederick says, I'm hoping for 0-162 in the 2025 season to force Arturo to sell. Saucy says, I can root for another California team in the playoffs. The fans won't give me too much shit for that, liking the Angels. Exactly. The Padres are always acceptable, like Frederick says. R. Martinez says, but in Washington's defense, the AL West was down this year, but it was an indictment on the Angels' suckiness as well. True. Fernando says 18% chance at getting the first overall pick next season. That's not zero. Unfortunately, we can't rank correctly. That is true. We don't do anything right. Chubb says, are they really scaling back on the franchise to a small market team? It's genuinely the dumbest thing when they have the attendance the way they have. Exactly. Because there's been a lot of fans, even this year, with their innermost honks wanting to go there for the experience, saying, where's Trout? Well, he's been gone for a month. Where's this guy? I mean, I had fans that were sitting around us at times asking for players who have been gone off the team for 3 years. Time to send the bad juju up to the 5 North. Yes, I'm telling you, I would love for them to have problems up there. Ron Washington just getting his paycheck. Hookers and blow, baby. Frederick says spending $300 million on one player is way cheaper than spending on a farm system, trainers, and medical staff. The huge contracts are just for show. And they worked for a while. They sure as hell worked. Yvette also says, let's hit for the moon with players who hit for contact. Exactly. Also, Ron Washington now knows how little control Artie gives him. Ron should retire. I think he should because this is only going to taint his already, because this was supposed to be for him a redemption story, and there is no redemption in what he's done, and it's not completely his fault as manager. The refusal to hire Clint Hurdle was Ron Washington's first warning of what he was up against. Exactly. Also, Rally Chris says, I think when Artie said I have unfinished business, I think unfinished business was to send the team to the worst franchise record with 99 losses. He totally accomplished that. Halos Forever says, Todd, I totally agree with you. However, what had number 27 done for us last year? Almost the same as number 6. Nothing. And that is true. And I hate saying that because at least with Trout, whether he's genuine or not, whether you want to say he's awesome or not, at least he cares. At least he's there, giving things to the kids. At least you could see he wants to get back on the field. I just don't think he's doing the right things to stay on the field. I don't think he needs to lose weight. He needs to, kick back on just building muscle. And I think dude would be fine. Let's see. Christmas in summer. Launch angles and exit velocity are the best. Marsha's boyfriend enters the chat. Halos fan forever says, I will never stop being a Halos fan. Good for you. Yvette says, I only went to one game and I don't know what the last game I saw on TV, but I would die before I switched. That is my honk moment of the year. I enjoy the pain, I guess. You're like a lot of us, Yvette. Frederick says, Todd, Artie pays no attention to how this team performs. It's all about the dollars and cents. That is never more true than this year. Even though this team this team had a bad fucking season. Went all still my love to the Angels, and I will wear my Angels jerseys tomorrow to show my love to the Angels, not Artie. Let's see. Halo Joe says, I never smoked. He never smoked cigarettes. Also, Saucy says, I'm okay with not signing big free agents if a bunch of if a bunch is spent in Tempe minor leagues, training facilities, scouting, etc. Also, Frederick says, I think there is only one free agent in 2002, Brad Fulmer. Yeah, again, that team was built from the inside out. And there wasn't too many additions that put the Angels over the top. I think it was all those Angel players maturing at the right time. Also, great rant. I appreciate that, Isaac. No faith in this next season. I have no faith in this organization. Also, Aaron Seeley and Kevin Napier Farkas. Did you score last night? Big 20 says, where at my party I was dancing with hot chicks last night with you guys. Have to listen to your comments anymore. Okay. Let's see. Also, no post-game show last night. True. Also, Marty, you need to ask Marcia. Farkas is too shy to report. Robert says, issue is too big. Dodgers are going to get Roki Sasaki, 23-year-old pitcher who's 23 and is going to be an international contract like Ohtani. So he will be a cheap pickup for the Dodgers, 2.5 to $6 million a year. They still got to pay for his advertising rights or his talking rights, which I think is $45 to $50 million. But they've already spent $300 million on that pitcher. Fernando reminded me of that. I could not believe they spent that much on that dude. Let's see. Also, R. Martinez says our cholesterol levels are too high with all the butter that the Angels have been putting up our tailpipes. We need pitching. Sincerely, the Honks, Fernando says. Where's Marcia? Also, Marty says, oh, yes, Marcia, she's too shy to reveal the details. Her shy? I don't think so. Yvette says, I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? And that should be the theme of the Angels. Nick Tate checks in with always making history in the wrong ways. Let's see. Also, Marcia and Farkas did what? Also, let's see. Also, Halo says, where do we get pitching from the drafted when we drafted all those pitchers a few years ago? Half of them, if not most of them, didn't come back because either they retired or they were just not good enough. Anthony says, Todd, you should close out the podcast with a song, The Entertainment by the Jam, or That's Entertainment by the Jam. Yvette says nachos is a team effort, so nachos for everyone. And that could be the case because, again, this team worked on one thing and one thing only, and that is how bad they could suck. And they did an excellent job of doing that. Let me look that song up real quick because I've never, That's Entertainment. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hello, everybody. Halo Joe here.
Halo Joe, how you doing, my man?
Well, I've lost my voice. I'm barely starting to get it back now. I lost it, gained it back, and then then started going again. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should stop eating glass.
Okay.
It's a habit of mine,
Gotcha.
I have an addiction.
You have an addiction?
But, yeah, to glass. Yeah, I was in a circus for a while, and that was my thing. And then now I just can't stop doing it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Little tidbit into my lifestyle for all of you folks out there. Hey, Todd.
Yes.
What an exciting season, huh? Full of thrills and spills.
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of them this year, right?
I like the Angels Facebook page that came out and said, hey, thanks to all the fans this season who have gone through the ups and downs with our organization. And then the first comment is, what were the ups? And the comment section just rips. I mean, rips. I got in there too. Everybody's just ripping that. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Well, it is. I mean, now you can go to pretty much any site, any page. You can go to our page. It doesn't have to be our page. It goes to any page and just see how the Angel fans are reacting to anything positive that this organization puts out there. Like they were praising, Neto or no, Neto came out with a message to the fans saying, hey, thank you for being there with us. Thank you for doing all that you've done all season. And the comments when I looked at them were, Neto, leave, get out while you can. Don't stay with a shit show.
Get out where you still have a chance.
Exactly. Like, don't let the Angels ruin your career.
Yeah, I mean, and that's if we keep him and lock him in, that's my fear. Is he's just gonna have a long career with us of just never advancing or doing anything. You know, we've seen it time in, time out. It looks like that might be what happened. Unless they start coming up with some bold trades to try to move guys around and start over, I just don't see them doing that. I want them to do that. I want them to tear down, rebuild, but it just doesn't seem like that's in their plans, whatever their plans are.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I mean, unless, like you said, something great happens in the offseason, you could kind of hope that maybe they can, you know, get back to some sort of semblance of a team. You know, we're in for another long season next year.
Oh, man. Well, only 146 days to go until spring training.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, I'm counting the days.
Right. I mean, there's only.
Guess what, Todd?
What?
Guess what? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 145 days.
No. All right. You know what? You sound like we might lose you, Halo Joe. I think you're becoming an everydayer.
Yeah. You know, I that's why I came on the show today. I was offered a contract by them, and they said, hey, look, you're going to get a paycheck, buddy. I'm like, wow, okay. And, you know, just come on our side. We need someone to take over this post-game show guy we got right now. It's not working out. We really need somebody in here. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. I could do that, yeah. And we just need to let you know, how do you feel about tickles? And I thought, tickles? What does that mean? Well, we just like to tickle each other. I was like, okay. I thought that was weird at first. But my first question was, well, yeah, but my first question was, well, what's the pay? Because if the money's good, I don't mind being tickled by two grown men with beards. So, you know, the pay's pretty good, and that's why I'm announcing my leaving of Halos in the Infield. I got offered a position over there.
See, that's sad because there's 100% less tickling on this show.
I want the tickling, but no one wants to offer it up. I begged James. I begged the other James. No, nobody. I asked Rob. Rob won't return my calls now. Fernando's too far away, and you know, you're in a relationship, so I have no one else.
So you became the third Halo brother, as of now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, everyone. It's just, you know, that's the way it goes. You know, hey, business, you know.
Yeah, I mean, first we lost Manny Mota, then we lost Smiles, which is what's her name, Alex Curry, and then we lost Ohtani. Now we lost Halo Joe.
Now she's smiling at her those big plates she gets over there at Chili's.
She's like, "Ooh, feed me."
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, look at that baby back ribs they're giving me this time. Look at that. Oh boy."
Alex Curry's the new Jabba the Hutt.
That's the new, yeah. Solo.
She's got Verlander chained before her. Look at
Yeah. Making people walk your plank off into a hole with teeth.
If I can't eat, my monster will eat.
Yeah. You see them being pushed over the plank, and they look down, and the mouth opens up. It's actually Terry Smith's mouth. In the
He's telling a joke as he eats another Jedi.
Yeah. As one goes down the throat, he's just really throwing that punchline out. Everybody in the bar is laughing. You can hear Alex in the background.
So it's 100% locked in that you're gone and that we're not going to get Alex Curry ever on the show.
Hey, you know, money talks, Todd. Sorry, and tickles. Apparently.
Yeah, I can't wait for your hang-up calls like the boys did to me several times this year, calling in.
Yeah,
that was embarrassing.
And I was thinking too, well, you know what? Maybe I could be the link to join both sides, Halos in the Infield and the Super Halo Brothers. We could do events together and stuff, like what Todd always wanted. Maybe I could be that link. And then I was looking at the figures of what I'm getting paid, and I thought, No, I don't think we should collab with Halos and April. I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right on our own.
Wow, it's all about the money with you, Joe. All about the money.
Yeah, Hey, I gotta buy eggs.
There you go. Will you enjoy that exit velocity and the launch angle?
It's the launch angle that worries me.
First
I can
comes
handle the exit velocity, but the launch angle, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to my wife about that one.
yeah, the tickling starts the launch angle. That's the problem.
Yeah, same thing with the spooning. It always leads to forking. Yeah, they want to start spooning and watching old like Angels broadcasts from like the 90s and 80s. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle that.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely see about that. Maybe we can get you back on a free agent contract. We don't know.
When the contract comes up, I'll let you guys know.
Okay, sounds good.
So don't forget to catch Marsha and all the other characters over at. I'm just kidding. Oh boy, yeah. So I also want to take advantage of this of this episode and this last game of the season to thank everybody in the chat. Also, all season long. Some of you guys are here every single day with Todd, and Todd goes and puts 120% every single night. And you guys, and sometimes Todd's had it. You could see Todd. He's just ready to slit his wrist right here on YouTube. and you guys are right there in the chat, cracking him up. We're all pissed. We're all depressed. Our team sucks. We all know it. But man, are we all in there entertaining each other, and some great jokes flying back and forth, great observations, great takes. The chat is the best. You guys are awesome. So I just want to thank you guys for the only successful thing that happened this season on the post-game show with Todd Fox. Thank you guys.
Appreciate those words big time. And again, thank you for all your work as well, Halo Joe, on and off the podcast, on and off on here, helping everyone to get through it, because it was hard, and you were able to make people laugh all season, and give people something to look forward to in the loss. They were like, hurry up, Todd, finish those rants. So really appreciate it, brother.
No, it's no problem. It's all fun for me. Now I just want to see. Hopefully, it works out okay with the audience over there with the Super Halo Brothers. I hope it's successful.
You got to tone it down a lot over there, because you know how they are.
Yeah. He goes, hey, less Nazi jokes. Can we calm down on the transgender sports hero? Hey, I don't know if we should portray Artie Moreno as a drunkard. Maybe someone who likes to have a good time but does Pilates.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really use your creativity over there, big time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewrite some stuff. I don't know. It might not come out as good. Who knows? Maybe the money's not worth it.
Yeah, maybe you'll have to find out. We'll see.
Oh boy, I'm gonna let you go, Todd. You have a great night. And hey, good news. We go to work tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait. Sunday night is the best.
My nipples are as hard as rocks over here. I'm so excited.
They're not as hard as O'Hoppy's on that walk-off. That was the highlight for me.
Yeah, and they're nowhere near as hard as when I start getting tickled.
All right, Halo Joe, get out of here. We'll see you.
Bye-bye, sir. Goodbye, everybody.
Artie says, so glad it's over. Do you think we could be any worse next year? Yes, we possibly can. That's the scary thing. Angel's grandma says, my granddaughter. Oh, hold on. It's the Halo honk line. Hello?
This is it, Todd. This is it.
Better.
The last game of the season.
We made it.
How am I supposed to suffer at the stadium? I can't go anymore. How am I supposed to buy $20 helmet nachos? What am I going to do with my money, Todd? What am I going to do?
You might have to waste it somewhere else.
I can't, Todd. It needs to be used at the Angel Stadium. How am I supposed to buy $20 parking when my ticket's only $5?
I know. But you know what?
Couldn't we make it to playoffs?
I don't know. I think you're gonna have to focus on I guess school and your future, and stop worrying about this team.
Forget that. I'm dropping out right here, right now to follow this team. I'm going to do the 162 challenge, next season.
The 162.
So before that, I'm going to follow the Dodgers this postseason.
No, come on. You got to follow them to
I'm going to waste my money somewhere. I'm going to waste my money somewhere, and it's going to be there.
I don't know.
Just kidding. I'm celebrating the other team on the 5, the Padres.
See, I'm all about that too. I'm hoping that they are able to get. I'm hoping that they're able to get out there and do what's right and upset the Doyers again.
Yeah, that's all I'm rooting them for. Because I mean, the way that things have looked when I checked yesterday, they're supposed to play the Dodgers if they win the wild card.
Who do they line up with?
It's all going to change tomorrow because the Braves and the Mets play a doubleheader. So I think whoever loses, or one of them, they either play the Braves or the Mets. I'm not sure which one. And then from there, they would play the Dodgers. From my understanding.
Oh, okay. I'm just glad the Dodgers got the number 1 seed because they're going to rest guys and they're going to be all, you know how they always are. When they get too much rest, they can't do it. So that's why I'm waiting for.
Their pitching rotation sucks. They're not going to go anywhere. They're the opposite of us. Their hitting is all right, but their pitching sucks.
Well, that's what's going to need it. Because look, the hitting can go. I mean, Ohtani can go crazy against the Colorado Rockies and bad teams like that. But when it comes to the postseason, pitching tightens up. So I don't expect him to be getting fastballs down the middle from guys with 6 ERAs come postseason. So, and again, Freeman messed up his ankle. He won't be 100%. So we'll see. But I still predict they're going to fall apart as usual.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm just happy that Ohtani didn't get 55 because that was the next milestone, and MLB would have gone crazy. They went crazy yesterday because he went 2 for 5.
Yeah.
On the social media, he went 2 for 5. Like, if Judge or, let's say, Trout went 2 for 5, no one would care. They would call him washed if he went 2 for 5. But here he is, Ohtani, going 2 for 5 in a meaningless game. Like, there's no point in posting it.
And he didn't need to play that entire series. They already clinched, and he's a stat patter. He's another LeBron James. I hate saying it, but he is. Stat padding.
Yeah, and that's basically what he's doing at the Dodgers. He's getting him, come to this game and see Ohtani hit 52 home runs and 54 stolen bases. Come over and see it. A special ticket price that's $130 instead of $160. Like, no one's going to watch your dumb team, your dumb colors with your dumb fans. Ugh, there's nothing I hate more in this world than Dodger fans.
Yeah, and again, for me, I think the best thing that could happen besides David Fletcher joining the chat saying David Fletcher, I really want the Dodgers to go out, because then all of a sudden all the Dodger fans will put on their Niner hats, their Raider hats, their Cowboy hats, and forget the Dodgers even played, and we'll be back to normal.
Yeah, and then all they have to show for it is one quote-unquote World Series in the past 11, 12 years they've clinched the playoff.
Yeah, they've been a complete joke. It should be, when this dynasty finally ends, it will be the dynasty that never was. I think they'll make it a 30 for 30. Someone will make a Netflix special on how the Dodgers could have won 6 or 7 World Series but didn't.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Astros. I mean, yes, some people say that the 2017 one was not legitimate, but they went and won one without all that.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
and I will say this, though, because I'm very biased, Vetter, because they beat the Dodgers to do it, I consider it legit. But if they would have beaten like the Cubs or somebody, I've been like, hell no, the Cubs got screwed.
But I mean, they went out and won one legitimately.
Yeah.
Like, there was no funny business. And the Dodgers haven't had that except for a 60-win season when Rendon played all 60 games. Like, there's no like, it's all just baloney, to be honest.
That should have made the season not count all the way, because if Rendon's playing your entire season, there's some funny business going on.
Yeah, and there's funny business with that guy too. Send him up to 5. Get him out of here. He'll ruin the Dodgers organization like he ruined ours. They'll take him.
That's
They'll take anyone.
That's one Angel that I would have loved to become a Dodger. Boy, you could take him you could take him before we signed him, dude. Screw that guy.
Yeah, because I mean, we signed him and he was the Messiah. He was going to save us all. Did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's done just like 60 games and not even make the playoffs. Like, this dude sucks. I had more hits at the Heidi softball night than Rendon had this whole season.
I had more homers in that softball game than Rendon's hit in the last 2 years. So
you run faster than Rendon. I saw you run, and there are other people in this chat that have seen you run, and I've also seen Rendon run. And if you guys did that steal third base thing, you would win.
Thank you, Better. You just boosted my ego.
That dumb Pac-Man one where Pac-Man's running in the warning track. If you were in the Pac-Man costume, blindfolded, your feet tied, you would still beat him.
See? So I love you, Vetter. You're so positive. In a year full of negatives, you're so positive.
I gotta honk my horn. I'm ready for the lockdown season with Halo Joe. It's a signing that is together. So I'm his personal tickler.
Oh, gee. So you're leaving too then?
Yes. I'm actually signing tomorrow. So you could counter offer. I'm getting paid $700 million deferred. I don't know if you want to counter that or not.
Nah, I'll pass.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay.
Let me think about it. Yeah, I'll pass. No, just kidding. Well, I appreciate all the calls and everything, man, and I appreciate everything that you and your father have been doing to help out, be at the stadiums or when we go do our events.
I'm going to miss you for 156 days or however long it is. Every day I'm going to sit there and just play Savage Garden. No, not Savage Garden.
Stukas. There you go.
Because I'm going to imagine the Angels winning the World Series, you going crazy, and that song playing 24/7 around Anaheim.
That would be nice. All I got to say is this. I'll have my own fireworks show and invite everybody down if the Angels were to win the World Series or at least get to the postseason.
You'll burn down all of Whittier, Todd.
I would get so many fines because it is currently illegal to set off fireworks in Whittier, but I'll still do it. I'll take the chance, damn it.
Yeah. All right, Tom. I'll let Hammer talk for one last time.
Yeah,
I'll see you when the Dodgers lose.
There you go.
Wait.
I will be on when that happens, by the way. So
I'll be there.
There you go.
I don't care what happens. I'll be in school calling. I've done it before.
Oh, I know you have. All right, Better. Have a good one, man.
All right, bye, Todd. Bye.
That's Better right there. That opens up a line. Saucy says, can't believe the Tigers were sellers at the break. I bet they want Flaherty back. Imagine the irony. The Dodgers used Flaherty to beat the Tigers in the World Series. Don't you say that. It's the Halo Honk line. Hello?
What's up, Todd?
What is up? Is this Eddie?
Yeah, that is me. The one and only calling to say fuck you, Artie, and all that shit.
At least it's not F me, but go ahead.
Wait, did you hear the music before? Like when I called or no?
No, I was like broken up. I thought it was a bad line. Does it when people play music on their speakerphone, it really doesn't come off good on here.
My phone's just drunk then. That's all right. Oh, what's the call? I just called it. So all I can say is that I knew we were gonna get swept somehow, because somehow I knew somebody was going, and I knew we were gonna get swept.
Yeah,
it's a long story. Let's just say a Dodger hold that I know just went from L.A. to Anaheim, flipped off the stadium, went inside, and the Angels lost. Let's just say that. I call it Dodger hold for a reason. Because she's a hoe. Long story there.
Is she a thought?
No, she is a humongous hippo. I just call it humongous hippo hole. HHH, humongous hippo halo hole.
Ooh, okay. Need you say more? We won't get any more drama on here, but how you feeling about losing 18 out of 21 games?
I feel terrible. I feel ashamed to be an Angels fan.
I think that's a lot of us.
Like, I mean, like the 15 years of my life, I feel so ashamed of being an Angels fan. Like, I don't even know why. Why are we this bad? I feel ashamed just knowing the fact that Artie Moreno, Terry Manassian, and the entire Angels organization still exists. We suck, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot that's led up to this. Unfortunately, it's not like just 1 year of bad and we can say, okay, we can reverse this. There's a lot. Now there's just a lot that's piled up.
I was arguing with my dad earlier, like not like a little arguing, but like I was telling him that a Dodgers season of 2020 does not count whatsoever. 60 game season versus 162 or 160 or whatever. Like I was telling him that the Lakers is basketball. No, like literally nobody cares about basketball. Like at least what I know. And what's it called? Baseball is baseball. A lot of people care about baseball. 60 games versus 162 or 3 or 4 or whatever. That's what people care about. 2020 wasn't real, and he's saying that the Dodgers season of 2020 actually counts. Who gives a shit? So I'm saying, who gives a shit?
Yep. Because I mean, you got to remember too. I mean, the Dodgers never traveled. Other teams had to travel for them, and then the fact that a lot of players weren't playing that season. They got the benefit of all the calls. So I mean, everything worked in their favor. I just told my friend this the other day. If you think about who won all the championships that year, if you think about it really clearly in the COVID year, it was really the sports were dictated by the leagues. So like you had the Chiefs win their Super Bowl, their first Super Bowl, and when the Niners should have won that one, but the league wanted the Chiefs and Mahomes to win. The league wanted the Lakers to win so many times, especially with LeBron. So he was gifted a championship versus a Miami Heat team that should never have been there, but a lot of guys quit because of the bubble. And baseball, the same thing. I mean, the Tampa Bay Rays, for God's sakes, made the World Series, and the league had been wanting for years the Dodgers to win a World Series. So I think that entire year in all three sports, it was fabricated.
It was the Dodgers, all I can say is just should have been us. That's for sure. Should have been us.
I mean, we should have at least made the playoffs.
Yeah, we the real LA team. The Dodgers don't deserve nothing. The Dodgers don't deserve nothing. They just deserve to be eliminated. Like they don't even deserve to be there. Switch stadiums for that fact. Why don't we just switch or some shit?
Yeah.
Switch or some shit. Just give us all their players. All we gotta do is gotta keep Trout and they keep Ohtani. That's the only thing we need. Ohtani don't deserve. He don't need to be here. He don't need to be here. That's for sure. That is for sure.
Yeah, I'm over that guy. I'm so over that guy.
Oh my God! Like, even though I go to school filled with Dodger fans, it's bad. It's just it's like when I go. Sometimes I'll give you this. Sometimes I wear my jersey because that's like the only thing I can talk about baseball because I'm too ashamed to talk about the Angels. Out of all the ways, I'm saying like, why not? Why not talk about the Dodgers instead of my last place 99 loss team and watch a first place team get demolished and literally not talk about Ohtani.
Yeah.
My school does not give a shit about Ohtani with the 53 home runs BS. It's literally all my six teachers.
Well, I would tell you this too. Like, I think real baseball fans know, and I think a lot of Dodger fans know too, that it's probably nice that they got Ohtani. They can get some memorabilia. They can, get bobbleheads, new jerseys, things of that nature. Enjoy a sold-out stadium, prices going through the roof if that's what they want. But in all actuality, if you really can ask a Dodger fan with the way you talked about how they've gone 11 or 12 years without, or Vetter did about, having that 12-year stretch of getting to the postseason, winning division titles, getting to the World Series and losing, the regular season really doesn't matter. So the fact that Ohtani did all this stat padding, who gives a fuck? Like they were going to win the division no matter what. So my thing is, and I think the Dodgers fans thing is now their season literally starts. Like what we make fun of, Roger Lodge saying all the time, literally makes sense for the Dodgers. The season's over, but the real season starts tonight. That's what they need to focus on is the postseason. Because again, if you don't get it done in the postseason again next year, don't bother me if the Dodgers have won 90 games in the first month somehow. What are you going to do in the postseason?
Absolutely nothing. That's all I can say. The Dodgers, all I can tell from now is how much they glazed on Ohtani and the quote-unquote big three. I should call them big trash. I know they're not going to do nothing this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see when they face some top-notch teams because, again, people forget with as great as they thought this team was going to be, they really didn't live up to expectations. Everyone thought this team was going to be scoring 6-7 runs a game. Often, they got shut down a lot. And they also didn't score as many runs as people thought they would. So this isn't the end-all be-all team. They have holes in that lineup. You know, your Chris Taylors, your Max Muncies, your Gavin Lux, those guys aren't that good. Their batting averages were looking like angels. So, I mean, there's outs on that team. If you can avoid Ohtani, you know, chances are there's a good chance you could beat this team.
I mean, like, to be completely honest with you, like, the only, like, the World Series appearance that I want to see this year definitely has to be the Dodgers and the Astros. Because, like, I want to see, like, the Astros take on the Dodgers, like, again. Like, you know what happened back in 2017, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The cheating scandal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, definitely, like, a cheating scandal revenge from the Dodgers. Like, you know, the World Series with the Astros and the Dodgers, it could be like a series, like a little series. I just want to see that happen. Like the Dodgers beat the Astros, even though I hate the Dodgers, like they're last of my favorite teams. It's just like, I just want to see them beat Houston. I hate Houston. Out of all my heart, I hate Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the Dodgers just to lose. Not this year because I want to see them play Houston, but just like any team, I just want San Diego to beat the Dodgers. And whoever's lined up in the postseason, I want them to beat the Dodgers, like out of always. But if the Dodgers could climb all the way to the World Series, I don't care. Just have them get into the World Series, get out, and just have my team play. It's the Angels.
True. And I'll just
have them win.
I'll just say this though, before the end of the call, I'll just say that, hey, the Angels, like with them being done, my season's over when the Dodgers are done. And after that, it's all gravy. Whoever wants to win it, go for it. Be my guest. I don't really care. Cheater, no cheater, take it. As long as you're not the Doyers, I'm happy. So I think that's a lot of Angel fans. But I appreciate you, Eddie, and everything you've been with the page this year and been, propping us too on the message boards and things like that. I really appreciate you, brother. And we'll hang out soon. And hopefully next season we'll have more to cheer about and talk about, right?
Definitely, bro. And also, thank you for making this a freaking awesome podcast and all that shit, man. It was a great year, great talking about Erica Weston. I'm actually happy I met Erica Weston. I had to bring that up. You really know I had to bring that up. It's Erica Weston for you.
Oh, I know.
That's like my very older wife, but in reality, I got no chance with that whatsoever. I'm saying we'll see how it is. I'm gonna be watching KCAL News with Erica Weston on it for 5 hours or something, whenever that thing starts. But yeah, man, it's been a hell of a year. Go Halos, man. You're the best host the world has, and the only thing that brightened up the season, brother.
Oh, I appreciate that, Eddie, and hopefully again you could check in when the Dodgers get bounced because I will have a show on that. So there you go.
Hell yeah! What's that? If you do like that Skype Skype thing where you have Blake C, me, and Drunk Artie on the live, bro. Yeah,
I'll probably do that. I'll probably have you guys jump in. So there you go.
Oh yeah, I'll tell Jackson so me and him can jump on that shit.
Okay, sounds good, Eddie.
All right, brother. You have a good night and go Halos, and you have a good show, bro.
Thank you, sir. All right, that's Eddie right there. We got time for one more call, and then we'll end the show on a Sunday as Sunday Night Football is on right now. I was going to jump into that and some dinner right now, and I already know who's going to call right now. Maybe not. Someone else beat him to it. It's the Halo Honk line. What's up, Leaf?
Just finally glad the season's over.
Dude, I mean, you could be in our situation. At least you were close. At least you had meaningful baseball in September.
That's true. It's just frustrating. Like, it's the 7th time in 30 years that you're the best team in the American League to not make the playoffs.
True.
And the fourth time in the last 5 years, too.
Yeah. I mean, It's disappointing, man. You guys got that taste of the postseason a couple of years ago, and I really thought that you had I thought you guys had it in you to make it again to the postseason, but damn, dude, the Royals and the friggin' Detroit Tigers. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Detroit took 5 of 6 from us this season, including a sweep in at America. So,
well, what for me? I mean, because look, I know they made some veteran acquisitions, obviously with the Rosarina and Justin Turner. I don't see Turner back next year. I don't think they produced enough to be there next year, even a Rosarina. But what's the? I mean, you guys got the pitching. I mean, what's the deal with the hitting? Are you guys in the same boat as we are as far as analytics ruining things, or you just don't have the right players?
I think it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of the players. It's also the park, T-Mobile Park is a factor. So one thing that was recently done some research, and there's a park factor for each ballpark, and the average one is about 100.
Okay.
T-Mobile Park is a 91, which is easily the worst for hitters in baseball. I think next closest is 96. So it could just be hitters just die here, which is not a fun topic to discuss. But when you consider the production of Jorge Polanco falling off, or Mitch Garver especially, there might be something behind it.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, maybe it's something where you guys do a reverse Baltimore Orioles. You know how they made it to where you push the fences back in Baltimore. Maybe you guys bring them in. I mean, I don't know.
They pushed the left field fence right back.
Yeah.
Some people call it the Gleyber Torres porch because Gleyber Torres kept going yard there.
Yeah, it was really easy to pull the ball there. I know Trout feasted on their pitching there for a while when he was healthy.
Yeah. I know Trumbo and Nelson Cruz had big years there too.
That's right. I forgot about those two. Man, it's look, even though you guys are in our division, I don't really hate on the Mariners too much. Yeah, I think they might have to go out there instead of getting big names, just get contact hitters, sort of like what the Padres did. They went out and got contact dudes, and it kind of works, So because I think with your pitching, you guys wouldn't have to average more than 4 runs a game. You guys would win a lot more games, dude.
Yeah. Like they had 92 quality starts and won 85 games.
Jesus.
How is that possible?
That's insane, dude. That is insane. Wow.
It's like, it's basically like, you know what it would like for an entire pitching staff to get Felixed? This is what it would look like.
Jeez. Yeah, I remember. They just had a great pitching staff. I mean, if you want to say one thing about Dipoto, he's really put together a good pitching staff, a good bullpen. They're usually lights out. So, like, I know we nipped you guys twice, and it felt really good because I was like, man, we beat some good pitchers tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a pushover with the Mariners. But I went to a few Mariners games this year where it's like, man, they get a lead, forget it. That's why when we did come back on you guys a couple of times, I was like, wow, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But
it was for me, it's kind of that singing feeling. It's like, shit, here we go again. Because I can't trust this team.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say with the Mariners, like they're the opposite of the Dodgers. Like, what you're going to get during the regular season with the Dodgers as far as making the postseason, but you can't get too high with the Mariners because you got to wait and see till they actually clinch.
Yeah.
Because they started off pretty good this year.
Yeah, it did. That was why I was surprised, because usually it's kind of like we start out slow, get hot, and then taper off, and then get hot towards the end, only to just miss. This year, when they have a 10-game division lead, it's like, where the hell did this come from? And then stupid Rally Chris cursing my team. And like, don't put that evil on me.
Yeah, if you want to do that, make sure you spread the word up there in Seattle that he cursed the team.
Yeah, I mean, we just might be cursed in general. I don't know. If there's a silver lining, we didn't have the worst collapse. That would go to the Minnesota Twins. Like, they lost 27 of 39 when they had a 95.8% probability of making the postseason. For reference, the highest probability the Mariners reached was 91.7, which, granted, that's still really bad, but it's somehow not worse than Minnesota.
That's true, but I couldn't name you one player on that Twins team. I'll tell you that, to be honest with you. I mean, they were the
Carlos Correa, Royce Lewis, Byron Buxton, all of which can't stay healthy.
There you go. That's why I can't name them, because usually those guys may be in the spotlight if they did stay healthy. But that team, when they were earlier in the year, when they had that lead and they were playing good, I was like, wow, that for a no-name team, they're as good as the Ohio team. I thought, crap, the Central's loaded, but
yeah,
not so much.
Except for Chicago, except for Chicago, they just stink.
Yeah, that's terrible. Rally Chris is saying ha 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 right now in the chat. So.
Okay. Anyways, I gotta go. So.
All right, Leaf. Hey, appreciate you, man, too, for checking in.
Yep.
And good luck good luck tomorrow, man. Seahawks, baby. But there you go.
Yep.
Go Hawks.
Yep. Go Hawks.
All right, later, Leaf.
Take care. See you next year.
You got it. That's Leaf checking in from Seattle. And why not? I'm in a good mood. Let's take that last call here from our boy, even though Tyler said don't take a call. I'll let him say his last bit here. You got 5 minutes, homie, because I'm ending the show before 6:20. It's the Halo Hotline.
Hey, Todd.
Hey.
It's the end of the season, but I'm playing tomorrow night, and it's gonna be an awesome.
That team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
In our 5th game of the season, and now we're 3-3.
That's not good. It's because you're not on the team.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. It's not good, but we have our next home, so we'll win. And then we have the last one at home, too, at the end of the season.
Okay.
I'll be out. But, yeah, the season's over. Angels lost. One of the good notes from the last quarter of the season. So that's a good note.
There you go. So,
and what?
Well, any news on you scoring?
But I was so hammered at the and I was super lit, and then they had a band, and I started dancing. Oh, no! 30-year-old girl, and she was super hot. And
just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Hammered that. She threw up at the end of the night. I'm like, shoot. I'm not going to go rape her right now.
Wait, no, okay, back up. First off, I was going to make a joke saying that you're finding that sexy that she threw up, but that went out the window when you said you're going to go rape her?
No, I said
that's a YouTube strike.
No, I said I wasn't gonna do that because that's not cool. And I was like, man, she's super hammered. I'm not gonna go get with that because she's super drunk tonight. And I was like off that deal because I had a lot of Shirley Temple, but I wasn't like to the point where I was barking on the ground.
Well, I'm just glad that you made the right decision right there.
Yeah, but we were slow dancing and she was super hot.
Before she threw up?
Before she threw up. Yeah, but every time I would spin her, every time I would pull her, she would pull me closer and I'd be like, whoa, she wants it. And then obviously she threw up.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But other than that, Angels didn't do so hot this season, but hopefully we get better next year. And yeah, football is here, and hopefully my team after this bye week wins. And with that being said, Angels all season.
Wait, Big 20. Wait, Big 20. Before you sign off for the season, we have someone that wants to say hi to you in the last few minutes of the show.
No.
Hi there, Marcus Diddy.
Who is it?
Are you there?
It's Marsha.
Oh, I was gonna sign off on a good note. Get her
Hey.
off.
Hey, Marcus. I just want to tell you that right now I just filled my jacuzzi with baby oil, and I'm about to get all Diddy here right now.
No, I don't care.
Hey, I got Will Smith over here, Oprah,
I do not care.
and one of the Beastie Boys. I don't know which one he is, but they're all here really a lot. me take down the fruit roll-up guy.
I don't care. I do not care. I don't care.
Sure? Yeah, I heard you like girls that throw up. You know,
yeah.
I can regurgitate myself. He just ignored me there.
Yeah, he did. You know, maybe it's because you're in the federal investigation. He ignored you, but I appreciate the call, Marcia. I mean, we're up against it. I've got a jam right now, but I appreciate you sending off Big 20, aka Farkas, tonight.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this baby oil. All right, Todd.
You got to chase down your other boyfriend.
What the heck's that?
Well, you know who it is. He's a Philadelphia Eagle fan.
Oh,
Grill Master.
That's right. Yeah. I'm gonna have to give him a call.
Yeah.
Hey, Grill, if you're out there listening, I'm over here, pal. All ready to go. All lubed up.
Oh, that's disgusting. All right, Marcia, you have a good off season. Maybe we'll talk in the Dodger chat. How about that?
All right, John. You have yourself a good one.
All right. And by the way, congratulations on your retirement from the Dream.
Oh, yeah. Hey, no problem. Got to start looking around in other professions and stuff like that. So I'll keep you on. Maybe, who knows? Maybe you have a spot for me over there at Halos in the infield. Maybe I can fill in. Maybe like an on the field reporter.
That'd be great. Can't be any worse looking than our other beat reporters that we have on the ground.
Well, maybe I can go into the locker room.
Okay, calm down. No Diddy, okay? No Diddy.
Okay, no Diddy. All right, fine. Have a good night. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, so on that note, let's play us off. Fuck it. We had a long season. Let's get a spritz. Let's get some Stukas, and we will see you when the Dodgers choke in the postseason. Good night, everybody.
Ritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast the day. Sip and cheer, no matter the score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Master, feel the pain. Baby, gonna lead us to the